the Rotary Club of Bulindo was chartered on the 15th March 2019. This community club draws its members from Bulindo, Mulawa, Nsasa, and the neighborhoods of Chira municipality. It was chartered with 51 members and presently has a net membership of over 61. The Rotary Club of Bulindo had a peaceful handover of leadership.
The former president, Rotarian Mary Mpirire, handed over to President-elect Stephen Kwesi Wango. The Rotary Club of
Bulindo
immediately swung into action and started with an over $90,000 project to provide clean water, toilets, good hygiene practices through a wash project and a multi-purpose hall.
When Rotarians are set to be chartered, their obligation is to serve and serve their communities. We are seated in Chijavijo at a school called NAMBOGO Primary School. 3 Rotary clubs came together and decided that this was a school to assist in their community. The Rotary Club of Buloba, the Rotary Club of Chira, and the Rotary Club of Bulindo. They have launched a project that allows the children here to enjoy fresh water, that allows children to come to school even when they're in their menstrual periods. Something that touches my heart as well is a student who had what they call osmolysis. Now, osmolysis is what in Uganda or in Luganda we call a talo. And many people have associated this with witchcraft, but it is indeed not witchcraft. It is a waterborne disease that rots the internal bone.
So, Anita, one of our faith, had a septic wound and she was treated in Koso. I remember there was a bit of resistance earlier in the community saying these are traditional things, they can't be treated, but it's a pleasure to see that Anita is now healthy. She's a candidate, I'm going to P7. I have a sponsor at Ario, so I need to go up summer, now was our cent.
amazzi ag'omu kitundu muno si malungi era waliwo n'omwana omulala gwe baatuleetera omulenzi naye ng'alina ekizibu kyekimu n'oyo omuwala oyo ng'ensonga eva ku mazzi mu kitundu muno gaali mabi nnyo nnyo ekyo kimu twakizuula wano ekyokubiri waliwo effumbiro awo bwe twali wano nga tukola olusiisira lw'obulamu embeera abaana gye baali baliramu emmere yali mbi nnyo bwe bafumbira wali wakyafu mu muyembe ebintu nga bigwa mu mmere abaana bwe balira so nga club ne twetema nti tujja kuzimba holo wano ng'eriko effumbiro eriko dining hall abaana gye basobola okuliramu emmere mu mbeera ey'obuyonjo ey'obulungi n'ekirala holo esomero lisobola ogikozesa ne community okuyamba enkulaakulana z'essomero n'ekitundu.
These 3 clubs finally came here and decided to launch a wash project, water and sanitation. They are building toilets to allow for the students to have fresh water. They're ensuring that these students have sanitary pads that are going to be created by the students themselves.
Abaana abawala bwe babeera mu nsonga tebajja wano ku ssomero tebasoma so ki affecting performance y'essomero abakulu bano bapata n'abaffe bagenda kusomesa abaana abasomesa namwe abakomiti engeri y'okukola sanitary pads n'ekirala olw'okuba ebintu bye tuteeka wano twagala bibe nga birina obukuumi tugenda kuteekako bagita bbugwe fence mu ssomero muno ebintu ebyo nga tebiyingirwa kutawaanyizibwa tuteereddeyo taapu eri ebweru eya komenti naye bino ebiri mu ssomero muno nga bya ssomero so tugenda kuteekako fence okusibawo essomero lino lyonna mu bufunze byebyo bye tugenda okukola mu pulojekiti eno zetugenda okulunkinga olwaleero
era nga emirundi ekisinga twesanga nti omwana omuwala alemwa nnyo okusoma mu Uganda yaffe eno olw'embeera nnyingi naye ng'emu ku mbeera ezo asinayo it's one of the main reasons eyinza okuba that cycle gyatuukamu sometimes nga tamanyi even the development of her body nga n'omuzadde yennyini oluusi tamanyi atya bw'alina okwogera n'omwana oyo. Now the best that parent can do is to just tell the kid, have to do this and this, we have to do this and this, tugende tubale buloka, ebyowe bityo, and that is it. Naye kati ku luno tugenda kutwala obudde ne ttiimu yange ne ttiimu yaffe yonna tujje tusomese omwana omuwala, tusomese omuzadde, tutraininge n'abasomesa, tutya bwe tulina okwata omwana oyo atya bw'alina okweyisa. We have what we call the do's and don'ts. So those are the things we are going to look at. Omwana abeerawo atya mu bulamu bwe obuta feeling like in those few days she has become an outcast. Abe nga awulira nti atya feelinga mu society tatunuulibwanga ekyeninyala oba nga ekitaliiyo. Tugenda kubanga tubasomesa ku embeera eyo yonna. N'ekirala tugenda kubanga tubasomesa era nga tubagabira parts ezokozesa kuba omwana omuwala bwetutunuulira emirundi ekisinga bw'oba baze nga alina okula zino parts zaffe ze tujja mu maduuka, they are a bit expensive for some of the parents. So when you multiply that emirundi gyonna in your life oba mu life y'omwana omuwala oyo wesanga nga it's a little bit very expensive oba nga kiri waggulu nnyo ku muzadde okusobola okubeezaawo ki omwana oyo. Wesanga nga omuzadde bw'abalesa 3-5 bye emirundi 2 agamba akasanvu kange kano n'amuwa ebiwero.
Fellow Rotarians, this may look a small park, but it could also mean a life to a young lady. Bannaffe ab'ekijabijo, akasawo kano kayinza okulabika ng'akatono ennyo naye kayinza okuwonya obulamu bw'omwana omuwala. N'olwekyo, we thank you, the team, Rotary, and the partners, and in the name of the President of Rotary International, and the name of the District Governor of this district, John Ndamira Magezi, it is my greatest pleasure and privilege that I declare this EnviroPad launched.
Rotary clubs that we are talking about are not 10 years old. They're barely 5 years old. Rotary Club of Chira just installed its 3rd president. The Rotary Club of Bulindo installed its 3rd president recently. Now, these are baby clubs. And to win and get an award of $91,000 is a huge accomplishment. So you Rotarians who are watching me right now, and you have just been chartered, it does not take you years to get grants. You can actually put your finances together and your accounts together and get the grants and serve your communities. This is the Rotary Moment Show. Watch with me and see what these great clubs are doing to help their community.
These projects in peace, we have just brought a Rotary Peace Center at Makerere University to join 7 other universities, major universities in the world, to train people who go out in the world to maintain peace. In water, we just signed with the United States Agency for International Development to make sure that wherever water is not available, should be available. And we started with $5 million in northern Uganda. But clubs are doing water projects almost everywhere you go. Kijabijo could be around the city, but people still have that water. Rotarians try to do that. In health, our major main program is polio. 35 years ago, we took a decision to go to polio because the world was stuck with polio. And my senior brother, Henry, He will tell you because he was there. There were hundreds, actually millions of people across the world suffering from polio. Today, as I speak, we are this close to declare polio extinguished from the face of the world because of Rotary. But it's not only polio, we have Rotarians against malaria. In this country, about 10 years ago, the country was losing an average of 400 people every day. We teamed up, Rotarians, government and the like. Today, Uganda loses less than 50, and our dream is that nobody should die of malaria. In education, a lot can be said. Schools like this humble primary school have been supported by Rotary, and we are getting people like Honorable Rita here, representing people in Parliament, and they went through such schools. Mama Honorable, come also here. From Omaltal. You know, from humble schools. But we say, let's really push them. Let's do whatever we can do. And they are now voices of the people. I could talk about the projects that we do all through, but this cannot be done without the hands of Rotarians, without membership, without people. And so I am extremely delighted that even before we commissioned the project that brought us, we are adding to the membership of Rotary International. And we are not just adding numbers, we are adding quality.
Kanchogere kati wabadde okusharinga nga abasomesa basharinga n'abaana ku toilet, omwana abeera ku standby, madamu ayingiddeyo n'awuliriza ki ekigenda mu maaso.
Bannange mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala, mwebale okukkiriza Rotary okujja wano tukole nabo, tukole ekigenda okukolebwa wano oba ekikoleddwa. Nebaza omukulu asoose okwogera ekansala Pafra ne tiimu yo, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Emyaka nga 25 emabega nagendako mu India mu kibuga kye bayita Calcutta, nenfuna omukisa okunyumyako n'omukyala bamuyitanga Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa yafa, abamanyi ebyeddiini muyinza obitegeera, kati bamuyita Saint ali bajulizi. Nanyumya ne Mama Teresa oyo naye mubigambo ebimu teyaŋŋamba, yaŋŋamba nti bw'oba tosobola kuliisa bantu 100 wakiri liisaayo omu. If you cannot feed 100, feed 1. Nayogereyo n'ekirala nti the little that we do is a small drop in the ocean. Perhaps the ocean will never be full without that drop. Nti kyetukola tondo butondo mu nnyanja, naye ettondo eryo bwe tiribeeramu ennyanja teyinza kujjula. Ne bannyinaze bano ne baganda bange ba Rotarians bakoze kye bakoze kitono naye kijja kukyusa obulamu bw'abantu bawano. Mwebale okubakkiriza, mwebale kubanga ffe tujja kutuuka tuve mu nsi muno, naye amazzi ge bataddewo gajja kuyamba abantu n'emyaka eginajja. Essomero lino okuzimbibwa ne hoola eyo tebagizimbidde ffeffekka abali wano, naye n'abaana n'abazzukulu bajja kukozesa hoola eyo. Bwe nali gavana wa Rotary mu mwaka 2013 nali nambula n'enkyalako Kuumi oba ogenda tonnatuuka Soroti nga waliyo essomero. Ne baŋŋamba nti gavana, abaana abawala baaviira ddala mu ssomero tebakyasoma. Ne mbabuuza lwaki. Ne baŋŋamba nti omanye eno tebalina mpale, you know impale, knickers. nti kati bwe bagenda okuzannya ne beepena kati bano ne babalaba nga badduka tebaddayo. Just imagine omwana omuwala talina mpale naye bw'azannya empewo n'efuuwa ekiteeteeyi banne ne bamulaba enkeera taddayo ng'abivaako nti baabiviirako ddala. Ne tugamba nedda tugule empale. Bwe naviirayo nga tuguze empale 3,000 ne beeyongerako okugula endala. Wayita emyaka 5 nenzirayo ne baŋŋamba nti school enrollment yeeyongedde ebitundu 85 ku 100. Akantu katono nnyo koolabanga akatono ennyo naye nga kayinza okuttira ddala omuntu naddala abaana abatuzaala bano abakyala kubanga sanitary pads zino ze babogeddeko wano omuwala n'atuuka mu nsonga eyo naye nga tagirina ne byonooneka gamba sigenda kuddayo mu ssomero n'olw'omugambo otyaga sigenda kuddayo mu ssomero. Naye ba Rotarians bano ne ba partners abo bagambye nti nedda tujja zikola ate ez'omulembe zibe nga ate zisobola okuyonjeka. Ojja kwesanga abaana bano nga mukulu Pafula bwe yagambye mbawala abanavuwa mu myaka eginajja ng'afe abamu twagenda dde wa Mukama eyatutonda. Mujja kwesanga nga mulimu Jessica Alupo ng'avudde wano ng'afuuse vice president wa Uganda. 1-1-1-1.
Work is a duty we claim. Vive la Rotary, and truth in our business will honor all men. Vive la Rotary, vive la Rotary, vive la Rotary. Truth is our right, love is our might. Vive la Rotary.
Many of the Rotary clubs ask themselves, what are they going to do? Because they're chartered and they have no flow of cash. They barely have $1,000 in their bank accounts. Then again, the $1,000 they have can give them $100,000 or even $10,000 from the foundation. Now, this is a trick that only the people I'm going to interview today have cracked. They're the babies in Rotary. And for me, what amazes me, having been a seasoned Rotarian, to see a club that is only 2 years, a club that is 3 years, a club of 7 years, yes, that is getting grants. I would like to interview and welcome the president of the Rotary Club of Chira, Rotarian and President Medi Lutaya. So what is that you've used to achieve this? Because it's a big achievement, it's a huge achievement to have $91,000 when you're just 2 years old.
Thank you so much, Carol, and thank you, Rotary Moments, for always being a part of our journey. Like you rightly said, Rotary Club of Chira is 2 years old, and our counterparts, Rotary Club of BULINDO, are 3 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
And today we have launched $91,000.
Amazing, yeah.
Right in our neighborhood of Chijabijo, which is within the greater Chira municipality. And the question would be, how did we manage to pull it off this fast? One thing I want to say is that the membership of the two clubs. These are community-based clubs, and I think it's natural that community-based clubs have empathy for the community.
Yes.
You don't have to go across the borders or 600 kilometers
to
find a need in the community. You just look within the community and
right here.
That was an overarching problem of clean water here. We are extending clean water, both to the school, the health center in the neighborhood, and the community. again on this global grant project. But also very important, our colleagues, Rotary Club of Bulindo, have also groundbroken for a multi-purpose hall, because there's no dining here, the kitchen facilities are appalling, and for me it gives me great joy. This is such a historical day, and we look forward to bring many more meaningful partnerships in the school. I've just been speaking to the headmistress, but even as Rotary Club of Chira, we are going to come back and see what else
you can do.
What we are doing with Bulindo and what Bulindo is doing. We're going to come back as a Rotary Club and see what else we can support.
What is it that you can train your Rotarians, because it all comes from what you train them to do? What is it that you've seen here that you would want to train your colleagues, your fellow Rotarians, on how to achieve the global grant?
Thank you so much. My mantra is going to be very simple. In my year as a club trainer, I want to bring the club closer to the community. It is only when you come to such a place and you realize that simple things can turn around the plight of school-going children, that as a Rotarian, you get the urge and the feel to support.
Okay.
So in all the areas, all the type of trainings that we're going to do will be tailor-made after bringing the Rotary Club to the community. And then we roll it out from there.
Interesting. Interesting concept. When you see a child telling you how to behave better, you watch yourself. These are very infant clubs, and I'm impressed, because as a Rotarian and have been here to see so many, I am very touched that these Rotarians have gone out of their way to perform, and outstandingly perform very well to come to their community that is within this locale.
Okusoka yoza bana Rotary Club of Bulindo mukwatidde wamu n'ab'Ekira n'ab'Ebuloba ku buwanguzi buno bwe tutuuseeko. Ate neneeyongera okwebaza ab'emukago gyaffe gyonna olw'obuwagizi. Obuwagizi bubadde bungi, kino tetusobola kikola ffeka nga bana Rotary. Era ne bwe twandyagadde okukola byonna bye twagala okukola, naye ne mutatuwa ettaka oba ne mutatwaniriza, era tetulina kinene kye tusobola okukola. So munnange, njagala okubeebaza ennyo ab'essomero, ebiseera byonna bye tujja wano mutwaniriza, the district leadership, tweyanzege.
Mukama mulungi ekiseera kyonna. Ndowooza batugambye nti akaseera tulina kuzza katono. Abagenyi baffe abalungi tweyanziza nnyo balaba. Abazadde Mukama kyatuwadde kyekino. Abakulembeze tubeebaza okujja netwagala. Bannange ffe omulimu gwaffe kwebaza. Abaana baffe, nze emyaka gyange nfukamidde mu mutima, naye abaana bange abalungi mujje mwebaze nga mufukamira.
Whenever we launch a project in a community, there are those beneficiaries, but there's always that person who is in charge of that community project. Now I'm privileged to interview the headmistress of NAMBOGO Primary School, Mrs. Lita Winfred. She is the leader at this school and is on those global grant documents that were sent to ARA International. It is only fair for us to hear what she has to say. What was her input during the global grant? How are they going to sustain this global grant? And then again, the Rotary Club of Bulindo is also launching the multi-purpose main hall that they're going to talk about as well. How are they going to handle this? The sustainability of a project is between the Rotary clubs that implement it and the beneficiaries that take it on. I want to ask her on the side of sustainability. The children have water now. How do we make sure that the sanitation is better? There is going to be sanitary pads going to be made in the school and given to the young girls. How do we ensure that children now come to school even when they're in their menstrual periods. Welcome to the Rotary Women Show. Headmistress, and congratulations on this achievement.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. Now tell us what was the feeling, first of all? Let me ask about the feeling, because I know when when Rotary first comes to you, you must be like, what have they come to do? You know? Yeah.
Maybe to begin with, I'm very, very grateful for this day. I'm very excited, extremely twinkled.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I thank the Rotarians of BULINDO. May God bless them. May God bless them abundantly. I really don't know how I feel inside, because I thought I think it's a dream come.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Here at NAMBOGO, we are very grateful to those people. And we know that whatever they have given us, the dining hall, I think our children are going now to be modern.
Oh, yeah.
Most
I
of
like
them,
that.
even at their homes, they don't have dining halls. So at least that is going to be a very good project for the children. Secondly, water is life. We had only one source of water, and that is the rain water.
Yes.
And we had only one tanker of water.
With how many students?
With over 500 students. Ooh. So that means the water running off. Sometimes if there is no money to buy, then there is chaos in the school. But right now, if they are going to give us water, I feel our children are going to be very happy. The senior woman is going to show her work.
Oh, yes.
Our teachers, especially the ladies, are going to help. Not only the girls, even the boys have problems.
I know. Yes.
But even the boys have problems. So when there is water, I think life will run smoothly. We used to fetch water down over 1 mile from here. But when I came in, I said, no, it should be stopped. Children will go and take over 3 hours fetching.
Oh, Polly.
So right now, I think the story is going to change.
Indeed it will. Because of what?
Because
of
of
Rotary.
And even others who have come in, please may God bless you abundantly. At least you are going to change the face of NAMBOGO.
Now, the Rotary Club of BULINDO is the primary contact on this grant. They wrote the proposal, and then they brought in more partners. It is always amazing to share, because very many Rotary clubs would go at it alone. But this particular club allowed to share, and they said, we shall work with others because they are within the same vicinity. Now I'm happy to interview the charter president of this club. He was chartered only 3 years ago. Like I said, I'll continue insisting, these are babies in Rotary. But they've done something very many people have not done in their 10-year stint. Getting a global grant takes a lot of zeal and a lot of effort. Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show, President. Now, I want you to tell us, what is that baking period? Because, hey, you're getting to know people. You're getting to induct people into the club. You want to grow the club. You want to teach them the norms of the club. And at 3 years, you're getting a grant? Hey, Buana, how? You know, when you're growing up, they start asking you, and yet you're a baby. So what happened? How did you achieve this? And it's a good achievement, an example to many Rotarians. Yeah.
It is something that we don't take for granted, certainly. When we came here for health camp, when we got information, that's when we saw the need.
Yes. And that was your very first
project.
Yes.
Our very first project, the health camp, when we came here and realized that there's a need to bring some issues which directly impacted on the quality of education people were receiving. There was a problem of water, there was a problem of hygiene, there was a problem of shelter.
Yes.
In fact, one of the things that has been launched today, building on my purpose hall, was our first idea. because actually it rained heavily that day.
Yeah.
And we didn't have shelter.
Anywhere to go.
Yes, one structure which was in like a kitchen was in a very sorry state. We even feared whether it would fall on us in the course of the event.
Yeah.
So that we resolved to build for this people a multi-purpose hall, which has a dining, which has a modern kitchen. Of course, going forward, when one of the patients who received in the camp, when they told us that the prevalent sickness in the area emanated from the poor quality of water that the community was receiving, that's when we hatched the idea of partnering with clubs to see that we get a wash plant project. Of course, we thank our partners. It was only possible because of the resilience, the zeal we put in knocking all doors. Unfortunately, all those people opened the doors when we knocked.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, I want to ask you, is this the only school? Is NAMBOGO the only school around? Because I'm going to ask you why you chose NAMBOGO. That's very key for the Rotarians that are watching. Why NAMBOGO? Why not the next school? Why did you choose this particular school?
It's the only public school.
Okay, okay.
And of course, if you look in terms of sustainability of a bigger project, it has it's seated relatively on a huge piece of land that if you are to bring up a community project, it's also centrally located next to a health center,
yes,
health camps, and next to a place which doesn't have any clean source of water, and yet the community is quite large. So that's why we thought that we could start from here, and because of the benefits of not only to the school, but even to the nearby community, which is quite big, but without very quality water.
So what you just noticed is I just asked him for their strategy. But I asked it so that he would not feel as uncomfortable as to tell us what their policy was when they were implementing it. Thank you very much, CP. Now, the person I'm going to interview is the past district governor, and he has so many accolades, which I might not be able to spell out today, but he is known to love Rotary, and he is known to ensure that the giving never stops. Today here at NAMBOGO, he has launched a 91,000 project, which has been launched by a 3-year-old club, the Rotary Club of BULINDO and its partners. And I would like to ask him to give us a word or two about what he believes and he thinks this is, and especially since these are very young clubs that have just launched. Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show. District Governor, I'll always call you by Governor, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Katongole, welcome to the Rotary Moment Show.
Thank you.
Now, I know that this is one of those events where everybody wants to talk to you, so we shall make this very rushed. But tell us what you believe and what you think, and why you believe that this has been a very good achievement for a 3-year-old club. I keep saying 3-year-old because it is amazing for one to get 91,000 and what it is that it's going to do.
Viewers and fellow Rotarians, what has happened here in this little village of Kijabijo, NAMBOGO, is the typical example of what a determined hand and a determined mind can do. The Rotary Club of BULINDO is barely 3 years of age. The Rotary Club of Kira and the Rotary Club of Lova are barely a year or so old. But these clubs got together and put together a global grant of $91,000. This was approved by the Rotary Foundation, and this afternoon we've launched the construction of free-flowing water to the entire village in Jeno and to this little primary school in Kijabijo in particular. They will also construct modern toilets for the school and build a multi-purpose hall for these students. This is just a small primary school, although not very far from Kampala, but you really see it is a very rural primary school. Yeah. But the fact that young clubs like BULINDO, Kira and Bulova can get together, inspired by the leadership, both at club level, assistant governor and district level, and they can do something that is life-changing, is something that warms up my heart. And I stand here to thank them, and to appeal to all Rotarians wherever we are, to emulate such examples. $91,000 changing the lives of these little children. So But how do we get the $91,000?
Exactly.
All this $91,000 comes from you, comes from me as Rotarians by giving to the Rotary Foundation. The Rotary Foundation does not have any money-making business. Depends on donations all throughout. Donations from every person who wants to be of goodwill, particularly Rotarians. My appeal is that let's continue giving. Let's give and give and give. If you can give to be an Arch Clump Society member, do. If you can't, be a major donor. But if you can't be a major donor, be a Poor Harris Fellow. A Poor Harris Fellow is a contribution of $1,000. But if you can't be a Poor Harris Fellow, give $100. And if you can't give $100, give $1. $1 is what it takes to immunize a child.
Indeed.
Against polio. And that is what makes us proud to be Rotarians. That we can do these little things with little savings, but together we contribute millions and billions of dollars, and these monies are deployed to do good in the world.
You know, I can't stop staring at him because every time he speaks, he gives me a lot of zeal to give and give and give. And many Rotarians have listened to that call. One final question to you, and I know might not be linked to this, but it's also about peace. You recently got a very, very important, what can I call it, leadership position at Rotary International, and I would like us to speak about it. I know we shall be able to come to the events and look and we shall be in attendance, but I'd like you to speak about the peace. The Peace Foundation.
Yes, peace in our hearts.
Yes.
Peace in our homes.
Yes.
Peace in our communities. Peace in the world. Without peace, nothing else takes place. We've seen this country in times of turmoil. Without peace, no education. There will be no clean water. Environment will be destroyed. Diseases will be rampant. So, peace has been taken at the center stage of the Rotary Foundation. And I was privileged to be appointed to the committee of Rotary International for Peace, and I've been chairing the same committee for this outgoing Rotary year, and incoming chairman of the Rotary Foundation has asked me to serve again as chairman of the Peace Major Gifts Initiative Committee. I feel so proud that even us from relatively underprivileged countries can have something to contribute to this. So as a country, as Uganda, we've been very privileged because Rotary funds 7 major universities in the world. There's 2 universities in the United States, the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. There is the Christian University in Japan. There is the University of Uppsala in Sweden. There is University of Chebobong in Thailand. There is the University of Bradford in the United Kingdom. Then there is the Queensland University in Australia. And now Makerere University is the latest peace center in the world. And you know, we've just trained the first batch of 40 students.
Yes.
And these 40 students come from across the world. And they go out to promote
and preach peace,
to make sure that they promote peace, to make sure that conflict prevention is enhanced. Look at what is happening now in the world with the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Yes.
People dying, people suffering. You see pregnant mothers dying, you see young children dying. But if we as Rotarians can really go ahead and push and produce as many peacemakers as possible, probably the whole world will be a wonderful place to live in. And in this respect, the incoming president of Rotary International, Jennifer Jones, will be visiting Uganda from the 1st of September, and the central theme of her Imagine Rotary tour in Africa will be on peace. She will visit Makerere University. She will also visit a number of Rotary programs in Uganda, but will also visit the refugee camp in Nachivale. That is wonderful.
Which has
news.
the first Rotary club.
Yes, and Nachivale had the first Rotary club of a setting like that.
Yes.
So peace is something that should be taken as something very important.
Thank you very much, PDG Governor Katongole. Now, he was an advocate for polio, and how right now I could say we have a 0.01% of polio in the world. He advocated for COVID-19, and today I think we're breathing the same air like everybody else. And if he says peace and conflict is going to go to the best levels ever, we shall achieve it. And with Rotary, can we only achieve this? Thank you very much, Governor Katongole.
Thank you, and the little we do, we must do.
Now, whenever Rotary launches a project in a community, we will call upon leaders within that community to work with Rotary. Remember, it is Rotarians are coming from different locations into that that community. Many times they're not known to these people, they're even not known to the local community. And today it's my privilege to interview the local leaders in this area who have been privileged to earn a $91,000 project. And they have a community hall that is going to cost almost 800 million shillings. It is a huge achievement for local government, because indeed it would be on local government to implement this. But then one of the questions we ask as we implement this is, how are they planning on sustaining and helping this community? How do we have a tripartite here on helping the school, Rotary, and the local leadership? Welcome to the Rotary Moment Show.
Thank you very much.
I'd like you to introduce yourself so that everybody else hears who you are and what you do for your community.
Right, first of all, thank you very much for giving us this moment. My name is Julius Mutebi Nsubuga, and I'm the mayor for this municipality.
Great.
So I'm very grateful that especially it has come in my time. I want to thank Rotary. It's not the first time they are really working with us as partners. They have worked with us on several projects.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much an exciting one if you listen to the staggering amount of money, $91,000 US dollars. This is really, really beautiful. I'm very, very grateful on behalf of my executive, my council, the community here that is going to be benefiting, but also the entire community of Chira municipality and the Ministry of Local Government and the government of Uganda. We are very, very grateful, because what is being done is supposed actually to be our work.
My name is Gerald Chizito. I am the division mayor, Chira Division, Chira Municipality, where we are today launching these multi-million projects, and our partners Rotary. Incidentally, I am a Rotarian, Rotary Club of Bulindo.
Yes.
I am so happy the moment that we've been waiting for is finally coming for the reality. So I also want to thank the mayor, because we have been here several times. We have engaged with the community, we have engaged with the school administration, we have engaged with the church, and we have even interacted with the pupils. So everyone is excited. Finally, the project seems to be moving.
I know that you know Rotary. When you put in a grant, it takes a little while. And sometimes communities have come to say, you know, what happened? You came, did you get the money and eat it? But the beauty about Rotary is that we follow the forward test. Now, we have launched today the groundbreaking of this project. But one of the most important things about such projects is the sustainability. How do we ensure that there is sustainability of this project that has been launched?
First of all, as local government, we have multiple layers of leadership. Right from the village here, there is a leadership that is going to be tasked, of course, with the work of supervision.
Great.
Right from the beginning. And when we were sitting in one of the consultative meetings, I remember very well, division chairperson, that committees were selected. And no Rotarian, I heard at the time, that was supposed to be part of those committees. So I think these committees working together, because they are quite independent, we will have definitely the leadership from the local government up to the village level, to the parish level, up to the municipal level. We will be keeping an eye and giving full support. But apart from that, the community leaders have also selected themselves to also keep an eye. Apart from that, there's also the leadership of the school. We are going to, which is also under the local government. We are also going to ask them to keep an eye and to give full support. But apart from that, there's also the church. So there's multiple layers of partners that are really going to keep a keen eye. And the community, I think, is very happy, because the water that the sanitation water, clean water that is going to be provided.
Yes.
It's not just going to end in the school.
In the school, yes.
But they have also given a tap
to the community.
So
Yes.
the community is not going to feel left out. They are going to really feel part of the project.
The project, yeah.
And they will give support and they will keep an eye. So I am very confident speaking that I see multiple layers, keeping charge, keeping an eye, and making sure that there is full sustainability.
When it comes to sustainability, we are very ready, and everyone. The teacher has been here. She has waited for this.
I know.
I do not think she can be in a position to see what she has been waiting for a very long time.
I know.
Come and then it is wasted. So in terms of sustainability, and then when you talk about the Rotary Corps,
yes,
because these are groups that we belong to.
Yes.
This is how we give information.
Yes.
On a daily
yes, on the community.
So we know we are very ready. And one other thing, the Rotary Club of BULINDO, because it is a community club.
Indeed.
It is a community club. It is a club that is within the community.
And you all live here.
And we all live here. So when they have put the project, the eyes are always. So we believe the question of sustainability is not going to be a challenge at all.
If I was the president of the club that just won this grant, hey, I would not even be on camera. I would be screaming my head off. You would see me screaming all over. Tell us, and as you do that, I want you to tell us how you've achieved this and a message to your Rotarians, because I know we talked about this at your installation, you explained, but right now what I want to do is give a message to your presidents, because I know many of them are looking at you and envying you. You're closing your year. You've launched a project. How did you achieve it in 3 years? People put in grants for years and years and they never achieve. How did you achieve this?
Thank you very much. One, it's been gone throughout. It's been gone. God has walked the journey with us. And on top of that, I would like to thank our previous presidents, CP George Musisi, Opportunity President, Mountain, that ran with this application, because they've set a foundation for me. By the time I came into office, I had somewhere to start from. So we've worked as a team to ensure that we are able to get this global grant. And like you've said, I should be out there screaming.
You know, they should come and ask for, you know, how did you do this here?
You know, but then the other, for us to be able finally to launch this, I would say I've been having a very supportive board and very supportive club members. We've walked this journey. At the beginning of the year, we set the targets and we've been so compliant. We've adhered to what we set out to do. We've tracked ourselves month on month to ensure that we are able to roll out this. I must tell you, these are the only two remaining items that we had on our radar. This is what was in red. The launch of the Global Grant project and groundbreaking for the multi-purpose school. So to me, it's very fulfilling. I'm so grateful to my Rotarians.
And she says it very calmly. I will be screaming.
The members of RCP have been awesome. They've been very supportive, selfless, committed. When we had the charter night, we had a fundraiser. We were able to raise 20 million. We were not expecting it. We just put a charter and a fundraiser. And we had hoped that we'd get about 5 million. But the club has been very, very supportive. The members are very selfless. They are so committed to what they signed into. And even our partners, the Rotary Club of Chira, has been very supportive in this process. So we are so excited.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Talking about finishing strong.
Yes.
That has been your
mantra.
Yeah, for the last 2-3 months.
Yes.
We've been telling ourselves as the Changemaker president.
Finish strong.
Finish strong. And I believe that I'm finishing strong.
Indeed. That's a good one for me. One of the things that I like about finishing strong and the word change making is that you've changed from COVID-19. For me, whenever I hear Changemaker president, you were able to shift between COVID-19 to economic recovery, and now you're finishing strong. For me, that is the explanation when it comes to the change maker president, and I think you've done very well. This will go down as one of those years that has accomplished the biggest step in Rotary.
True.
Because of COVID-19. I mean, we had 2021, but COVID-19, concluding it, and economic recovery is usually very hard, but you've done very well. I mean, $91, and you're launching $800 million Uganda shilling project. Kudos, President Mary. And thank you very much for standing with the community and not forgetting your community. Thank you.
Thank you. So excited.
Indeed.
Finishing strong.
Indeed. Thank So for those Rotarians that are watching me right now and the viewers that are watching right now, the grant making process is not very easy. It's one that requires you to be very good at what you're doing, that is writing. You also have to know what the Rotary theme is that will allow you to get the grant. Then there's processes, the different administrative processes, who will give you what, how much will be collected from which partner. And I'm very privileged to have the person who wrote the grant that we're talking about today. Rotarian PNN of Bulindo, Rotarian Robert Kayongo. I'm going to ask you for the process. What is the magic bullet? What did you do that for a 3-year-old club, you're able to have the grant launched today?
Initially, as a club information, at that time of provision, we had done a health camp in this place. And from that health camp, there was a young girl called Anita who had a septic wound in her leg with rotten bone.
A rotten bone?
Rotten bone. And it's like she was going to lose the leg. She came to the health camp and we attended to her. But her wound was so bad, we got concerned and very much interested. We wanted to take it further. So one of the doctors around, the Rotarian Commercial Club of Kampala Sunrise, I think it's called Dr. I don't remember the name, she's a lady. She told us that we'll take that girl to Chiribu for further examination. When we got there, the club assigned me as the officer in charge of that girl. When the tests were done, it was discovered she was suffering from something called osmolytis.
Osmolytis?
Yes.
Can you say that in Luganda?
I think it's a talo.
You know why I'm asking you to say this in Luganda? Because a talo, everybody associates a talo to witchcraft. But now you're telling me it even has an English description called osmolytis.
It was a social breaking moment for us as well. We are Rotarians, but also part of the wider community. There are those things that the talo is a problem. If you get, modern medicine, the person will die. We really got a lot of problems with that girl. Because then we were advised to take her to Kosu. There's a place in Kosu there, Kosu Hospital, where they do surgery on bones and what. And doctors told us that actually her problem is caused by waterborne disease.
So, Rotarian Kayongo, you're telling me, and I'm going to speak in Luganda. Ntino abalwala etalo is because of water?
I don't know whether all of them are because of that. But at that time we were told, the doctors told us that girl was suffering from osmolytis. And I think it's a bacterial infection. But the problem is associated with water. But then after we handled her, another child from this community was brought to us with a similar problem. And we tried to handle that matter. As this was not very, very serious, the parent wanted the information. We provide the information, we took the child to court, because I took the child there with the parent. And they told us it is the same problem. And it was a problem of water. There was a problem here with water in this area. So those two incidences form the basis this WASH project. So with all that information that we had and working with the local community, we were able to identify a need in this place. Water. Now, before we could move, the whole world was locked out.
Yeah.
Because of COVID. But then COVID also came. It had challenges but opportunities as well. One of those is that there was a need now to provide clean
water
for the children to wash, hand hygiene.
Yes.
In order to help prevent COVID. And I think there was goodwill from the foundation to provide wash projects.
Yeah.
So that's how now we moved on and applied for the global grant. We requested the country office to guide us. What does it take to qualify?
Yes.
They guided us and we felt we could do it. One, we had to produce books of accounts.
Yeah.
Then we had to put in place governance structures within the club to help in the management, in the stewardship. Like you need to have financial control manual in the club, and a whole host of other things.
Yes.
And we fulfilled them, and we submitted them to the country office. And when the list for clubs that were qualifying to participate in global grants came, Rotary Club of BULINDO was one of them.
I have goosebumps right now.
We got more than that.
So it's not that I just invite you to Rotary because I want you to belong to something that I belong to, but I'm inviting you to see the goodness of what Rotary does. It is only imperative that the Rotarians of BULINDO, Chira and Buloba help the communities that they belong to, because they're Rotarians, because they love to serve, and because it is a mandate for us in Rotary to ensure that you serve within your community. Now, we've just seen something that has been demystified. Rotarian Kayongo has talked about it, and I mentioned it in my opening statement. Very many people have gotten osmolartes and they've been told that is witchcraft. We've just demystified it here, and we were able to see the young lady that was saved from a tallow when she interfaced with Rotary. We've seen children shine and laugh and enjoy themselves and are waiting for water that is going to be given to the school. The comfort of one who has periods is very important. When you're in your periods, it is very hard to sit, and for young girls to accept that this is a scientific thing that must happen to them. It is something within their nature that will never go away for as long as they're young people. So if this club is giving comfort to these children, ensuring that there is enough water within the school, giving insight on diseases that have been given witchcraft as a path, this is very good. I want to congratulate the Rotarians from BULINDO, Chira and Buloba for the beautiful project that they've just launched, and congratulations on the global grant. I remain Carol Chazeka Koza, a Rotarian from the Rotary Club of Chiwatule. Do join us again here at UBC every Tuesday to watch the Rotary Moment. And we bring you these moments as well on our YouTube channel, the Rotary Moment Show channel. And on Facebook, the Rotary Moment Show. And on Twitter, throw us a tag here and there, the Rotary Moment Show. Thank you very much for allowing me in your sitting room and for staying up this late to watch me